What's up guys, it's Charles here with Rocket Punch Army to do a build review of this 135 scale Mechatro WeGo. This is the Kumitateshiki version. I don't know what that means, but it is a limited piece. Not exactly sure what event this is from. Not a lot of info out there, but I'm going to go ahead and open this up and show you guys the inside. It doesn't have the regular box of the other Mechatro WeGos, which is just a little window box design. This is meant to be this way to show that it's from a special limited edition. Comes with this here and this here, and the reason it's a build review is because you actually have to build this Mechatro, which I'm totally psyched about. This is the instruction booklet. Let's take a look at that. I'm assuming it's going to have very nice line art, which it does. Some photography here, so not incredibly difficult looking if you're used to building kits. I like the way they have listed all the parts here, the ABS, the POM, and the diecast parts. That way you know, you can assure yourself that all the pieces are there before you do get to work. But because I am so lazy, I'm not even going to bother checking it off. I'm hoping they're going to be there, because even if they're not there, there's nothing I can really do about it now, can I? So I apologize for my voice, guys. I'm a little sick, but I did want to bring this to you guys as soon as possible. It does come with the regular clear acrylic case, which can be stacked with other Mechatro WeGos. You also get the little clear bottom piece, and these are the ABS pieces and the palm pieces. So yeah, there's a lot of pieces. I didn't realize how many pieces there were in these little tiny figures, but as you can see, there's a lot to be put together and to be done. There's actually tons of baggies here, as you can see, and that's just the plastic pieces. Let's see if we can take a look at the metal pieces here. Alright, so there's a fair amount of die-cast pieces. It doesn't look like a lot when you compare it to the plastic, but most of this stuff just comes together into a small little, what do you call it, little chassis, and then all the outside, pretty much, save for a few pieces, is cast in this nice metal right here. Now the only thing that makes this completely different from building a regular kit is that instead of getting like a little sprue tree where you snap these off and have the numbers, you kind of just have to look at the pictures and then associate each picture with a number, which is therefore shown here in the assembly. Alright, so to build the right arm, I've narrowed it down to about 4 little baggies. Actually, make that 5 baggies because we do need a die-cast piece from one of the other baggies. You want this baggie here because of the pins, so you are going to be working with pins and obviously screws. These little 2 things here are the eyes. I can't wait to see how the hell I'm going to put that on. That's way too tiny. Look at my hands. And we got this here, which has the caps for the shoulders. It's got the little clamp hands. We also got these pieces here, which are composed of the left and right arm pieces with some extra bits for the covers and everything. Why they didn't just make one baggie left and one baggie right, I don't know. It's kind of got a combination of both there. But you do want to be careful and make sure you are building the correct arm. Just line it up and look at the way the things look. Alright, so I've gathered the pieces I need, and I can only stress that you need to be careful which pieces you grab, because they are, some of them, opposites of the other. And obviously that makes sense because there's a left and a right arm. So just be very careful, because you do have to pin a couple of things. I don't know how reversible that is, so just be careful. Now before I do get started, since this is a kit, I'm choosing to leave it with the raw, the raw look. You can obviously customize this, paint it, which is what's great about this kit. But I am leaving it, the way it is out of the box. Having said that, we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to take this little die-cast shoulder piece, bring this arm piece in, place the little shoulder cap in here. Now there's 3 different types of pins with this set. You want the 2 smaller ones for the arm. The 2mm, which is the biggest, you want for later on, you'll see in the video, but you want to grab the 1 and 1.5mm. Now the 1.5, I just started the pin in there. Not exactly sure it's going to be tough to push through, but it does seem to be pushing through very easily, alright, so you don't need any kind of special tools. Just line it up halfway out on each side. Then pop in 1/2 here. Now you will find a lot of resistance if you're just using your fingers with these 2 halves. So what I've done is I've actually put one on each side and then press down really hard. You might want to use like a small wrench if you have something that's not going to scratch it up, and as you can see, it's working its way in pretty well without any special tools. Once you got both sides pressed, you'll see there's a little bit of stress marks going on for the hole, which is normal for plastic to do that when it's expanded. You can always boil this piece in hot water and make that go away. Then the little armor piece here, just wedge that little tab in there, pop it right in. Now here's another tricky part, because it does require a pin and very small pieces here. We want to put the two opposing clampy things, the hands, whatever, together, and then pop it in through here, just like so, creating the wrist with the hand, and you have to pop the pin right through there. And for that we want the smallest pin. You'll notice I'm using a magnet so I don't lose these or they roll onto the floor. And just start out by putting it through one side. It may be a little tough trying to fish that through because you have to line up the holes for the hands here and have it come out the other side. Now you can see I have the pin through. Instead of using pliers or anything like that, just feed it through one end and then push it down against the countertop or something until it goes all the way through. Then simply attach that to the completed arm here. Oh, I almost forgot to put this little piece on down here. And then you're just going to do the very same thing for the second arm. You'll find the second time is much easier than the first. Alright, so we're going to move on to the legs. These are the pieces that I've determined will be needed to build a leg according to the instructions. There are two die-cast pieces here. We have the little hip joint and also the foot. And for this we're going to be using the bigger pins, which are the 2mm. And again, there are some pieces that only work for either or sides of the leg, so make sure you're building the correct leg. And again, you can just refer to the easy instructions here, which will show you in clear detail what piece you're working with. So we're going to put this plastic piece right behind the hip joint there, then turn it around, pop this cap on, then attach the other side of the upper thigh here, just feed it in, press it in. Alright, we're going to form the knee joint here, which requires a 2mm pin. We just feed that through one side, push it all the way through. Then the cover on the back of the leg here, turn it around and put this shin guard here, which I forgot to lay out previously. Then we're going to make the foot by taking this little cup joint, feeding it through the die-cast part of the foot, and then attaching the sole. I can't stress enough to make sure you're putting the right sides on, especially with the shin guard here, which is reversible very easily since it's meant to pop off. But you want the edge piece, it's got a little edge going around the curve, you want that to be to the outside so you don't mess up the ankle articulation. Then we'll just pop the foot on so you see what I mean. You'll see that the ankle joint clears that little area. Alright, and then just create the opposite leg. Now we're going to move on to the actual body and chassis. Just to keep things moving along, I'm not really going to go through too much narration during that. I'm just going to show you what's done. Okay, so I had to stop here because this is the part where you put the eyes into this little piece here. I don't know if there's any easy way I can show you guys how to do this, because even I'm stumped right now as to how to do this because of its size. So I'm going to have to do this off camera. But what I did is pretty much fold back the backing till an edge of it came up, and then I just kind of just toyed with it until it's stuck on. Once you got both, we'll continue on. And here is the end result, guys, after all your labor, which is probably about not even half an hour's worth if you just go straight through. Obviously, it took me a little longer because I'm filming, but the end result, very nice. There are a couple things I do want you guys to be careful with. If you get this, don't press down on the head. This will just fall into the head, having you take this off and redo everything again. The little eye piece also tends to fall out. I think more than anything, it just has to do with clearances, because this is not painted. So I think they factored in the fact that it would have paint when the things would just press in together, so it does feel more of a kit than a regular WeGo, which will handle a lot more of you messing around with it and things not popping off, for example this one. But it definitely is a 1/35 scale Mechatro WeGo, just as you would get this, just non-painted. I'm glad I have this one because now I know what it looks like raw from the factory without any kind of paint. And it's just kind of like a cool conversation piece because you can actually see the die cast. Now this is a limited, so it might not be easily available, but if you want to catch some other Mechatro WeGos, you can click the link in the description below to BBTS. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. If you're liking the videos, guys, please subscribe, support the channel so we can keep this going. Until next time, bye-bye.